Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. So, my custody battle was over in 2001. Then I was dragged in and out of court for the next 18, 19 years. I went to court a couple times myself for contempt, college child support for my daughter. But the mother dragged me into court to stop me from relocating 30 miles in Seattle, in the Seattle area. Basically from Seattle area to the Tacoma area, if any of you know the distance, they're nearby cities. And I've been working with fathers since then. I kind of did here and there volunteering with Dads of America, and then started helping people one on one in about 2004. Then I turned it into my own business in 2008. I've dealt with over 20,000 cases. That's a low estimate. I got people who come on the comments and say, I disagree with you. That's not true. That's not going on. What type of people say stuff like that? Feminists who think that the system is great, or that fathers are all deadbeats and don't care about their kids. Just your typical normal sheep and zombies who just watch the news and that's their outlook on life, whatever the TV tells them. Not any personal experience. There's all kinds of scandals about what the news had told us. And, there was a Ford vehicle about 30 or 40 years ago that they said was catching on fire, or I can't remember the exact details, but like ABC News or CNN or somebody did a story about them exploding or something. But they supposedly were testing the vehicle, and they intentionally caught it on fire to create some hysteria. They did a lot of the same thing with terrorism. They did a lot of the same thing with running us off to wars. Saddam supposedly had weapons of mass destruction. He didn't. Everybody believed it because the media told us that. The 1976 swine flu had everybody getting vaccines for that. And a whole bunch of people had a bunch of side effects. And there were warnings about the side effects, but they kept silent about it. The whole world shut down in 2020 for that thing. And most of that was a big scam. So I got idiots in the comments, and just, idiots in general, who don't know what they're talking about, telling me, if you were a mechanic working on cars for 20 or 25 years and somebody changed their oil by themselves and they started telling you you don't know what you're talking about, you'd laugh them off. They would actually look like an idiot, and nobody in their right mind would talk smack to a mechanic with 23 years experience if you just started doing something like changing your own oil or checking air in your own tires. I've won over and over in my own case. My winning court orders are in my flow page. It's the link in my bio that everybody should be checking out if you actually care about your kids. But 90% of you don't give a shit about your kids because you're a bunch of lazy punk little bums who are just coming by here to get your rocks off. Like, ooh, that sounds good. Oh, James got custody? Let me see if he has a magical formula for me. Just like a fat person who says, is there a pill out there that'll help me lose weight? No, you have to get off your fat ass and you have to walk and stop eating cookies at night. You have to do something. Like, you can get inspiration by the P90X guy, Richard Simmons, or some nutritionist. And watching them might be inspiring for the moment, but then after that, every day you got to do something to apply what they're saying. Let's say that you're really fat and you're talking to somebody with abs who's in shape and kind of buff, and they used to be fat, and you tell them you don't know what you're talking about. You can't tell people how to get lean or get rid of their fat or get in better shape, and you look at them, you're fat and out of shape with diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and all kinds of other diseases. That guy is ripped and in shape, and all his blood work comes back great. And you have the audacity to tell him you don't believe that what he did works? I have winning court orders in my flow page, and I got people telling me, I don't believe your statistics. I don't believe, oh, that doesn't work. Or that doesn't. Did you try it? I know some of you guys got PTSD from going through your court case, but just because you lost and you were engaged in a losing strategy with a loser attorney, like some of you even admit it. My attorney is good for nothing. And then I tell you, why don't you grow some balls and get on the offensive and do some of these things that I said? Why don't you do a contempt mode? Oh, I can't. That never works. Did you try it? No, but my attorney said it never works. I thought you said your attorney's a loser. Like some of you guys are as delusional as a modern woman. Like you want to complain about what didn't work, and then I talk about what usually works, and that sounds too hard for your soft, tender, little gentle heart to have to exert energy, and you don't like it. So then you just tell me that doesn't work, or I don't like the statistics you're talking about, or that doesn't make any sense. I don't give a shit. Your stupid ass comments in the comments that aren't true and don't have any bearing on anything, I don't care about them. I just, it, I've always, ever since I was a kid, I've always felt either embarrassed or appalled at somebody having the audacity to talk smack about something and they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Like, how do you have the nerve to just come on a page and talk to somebody who's dealt with, I'm probably closer to 25,000 cases, but I want to give a real low estimate. I've worked on 20,000 cases and seen thousands of men win when they did what I did, especially when they do it from the beginning. A lot of you out there are saying, oh no, it can't work. And then a lot of you just sit there and just stand by and watch. And you're not doing anything. Like, you don't care enough about your kid to actually work hard or apply this. You're a lazy little bitch like a lot of these feminine little boys nowadays who run up in a chick, jam her up, have a kid. Then when it comes time to grow up and be a man, you talk all this smack on your social media page and act like a tough guy, but in your heart, when it comes to fighting for your kid, you're a punk ass bitch. You know, and what I'm saying might wake up one, two, or three people. It's not going to wake up the majority. I just had a guy on my YouTube channel saying, I'm fighting on my case and I got to do something to change this system. And, slow your roll, dude. Slow down. You got to do something to change this system that's in Europe, Australia, Canada, and America. And you haven't even started your fight on your own case. Wake the hell up. Work on your own case. Rescue your kid. Then start fighting the system. But 99.99999 people won't do it. I've had all kinds of people who come on board and say, when I'm done with my case, I'm going to stick around and help you, James, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And you know how many people stick around and do that? So that's why, when people want to flatter me or say, hey, I love what you're doing, it's great, and we got to do this, and we got to do that, and we got to do this, and we got, look, man, just because you finally came across a real one or somebody who's really fighting and doing this doesn't mean you're entitled for me to come on board and help your agenda or your zealous, fantasy of a campaign to upend the system. This has been around for at least 60 years. There's a million people who've been talking like you're talking, and they haven't done jack squat. And I've been out here protesting, exposing judges, protesting in their neighborhood, protesting lawyers in their neighborhood, posting about and doing videos about lawyers and judges that nobody ever watches, filing bar complaints, suing them. And it helped me significantly in my case in one way or another. But nobody else is doing that. So shut the hell up, fight for your kids, and then learn how to fight. If you want some help, talk to somebody. This isn't a debate forum. I've already won. There is no debate that I know what I'm talking about. You're wasting your time running your mouth about